everyone, my name's Kristen and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about J-pouch surgery the first 4 months. So first, let me do a PSA. Everybody goes to the bathroom and we are going to be talking about going to the bathroom today, and I want there to be no embarrassment about us talking about us going to the bathroom, because especially those of us with ulcerative colitis and IBD and J-pouches, ostomies, we talk about our poop all the time. And so it is nothing to be embarrassed about for us. It is part of our life and it really does affect our quality of life. Like my mom always said, everybody poops the same way, except for those with an ostomy, because they don't poop on the toilet. They poop out of their stomach. So let's jump right in today, and I'm going to be talking about 3 things. Okay, so first I'm going to be talking about what is a J-pouch, and then I'm going to be talking about the first couple months of the surgery, and then third I'm going to be talking about what life is like now on month 4. So first things first, what is a J-pouch? A J-pouch is when, after you get your colon out, they attach your small intestine to what is left of a very tiny section of the rectum. And so then they make the small intestine into this J shape and connect it down. And so that J shape of your small intestine acts as a reservoir for stool. That acts as your new rectum so that you can go to the bathroom again on the toilet after having an ostomy. This is usually something that is offered to ulcerative colitis patients, not usually to Crohn's patients, because of that J-pouch could potentially become too inflamed with someone with Crohn's disease. So that's usually not an option for them, as I'm aware of. Number 2, the first couple months of the surgery. So first, I will say, whenever I was looking at videos of J-pouch surgery, there was not a whole lot of content out there of people talking about their experiences. So I want to give you guys the honest truth, and not every surgery is going to turn out super easy and perfect and you're gonna think that you're gonna come out of this and it's gonna be like back to your old life right away, because that's just not realistic. And I want to tell you guys what could potentially happen, because it happened to me and nobody else had talked about it. So I want to be that person for you guys, just in case it happens to you. So I did have a couple complications. I did not anticipate, because my other 2 surgeries went perfectly. There was absolutely nothing wrong. And they did tests on the J-pouch to make sure there was no hole. However, after I was there for a few days, they did a CT scan and saw that I had an abscess, which is from the hole in the J-pouch, causing a bacterial buildup right outside of the J-pouch. This was causing a lot of bloating and causing me to not be able to eat and throw up for the first week, even though I wasn't eating anything. And they almost put a NG tube down my throat to suck out all of the bile and things so I wouldn't throw up as much. However, I refused it because I am a dietitian, and I'm not gonna lie, I was just too scared to have that go down my throat, because I knew how much patients hate that. So I just decided to deal with the throwing up. They also wanted to give me TPN, but I was like, no, like I can feel like this is on the end of it, and I was like, just give me a couple more days. And then they were like, okay, but 2 more days, or like a couple more days, whatever they said, and you are getting TPN, which is like which is IV nutrition. And so thankfully I didn't have to get it. I did end up being able to eat. So since I did have that abscess, I had to get a drain put in, and they put it through my butt cheek, and it went kind of, I could feel it touching my tailbone, so that's about where it went through to that point. And I'm not gonna lie, that was super uncomfortable, because when it's going through your butt, you are on your butt all the time, no matter what. I mean, you're sitting down, you're laying down after surgery, and it was very uncomfortable, and sometimes it made my tailbone hurt, and I had to take like pain pills for that, just because of how bad my tailbone hurt. And they didn't know whether it was the hole in the J pouch was gonna close up or not. So I was very close to having to go back to the ostomy temporarily while it closed. Thankfully, it did close up after a couple months, but I did have to have the drain in for a couple months, and that stunk. It even hurt when I walked, because when you walk, your butt moves. You move your butt muscles. So yeah, that wasn't fun. But when it was all out, or when it got pulled out, which was super easy, I barely even felt it. I felt like a completely new person. But before we get to that, we'll talk about that after this. First, the first couple of months, I do want to talk about, I did feel very bloated, so expect feeling very, very bloated especially the first couple of weeks, but I felt bloated the first couple of months. It did gradually get better as it went on, and I kind of learned to just stay away from vegetables for that period, except for very easily digested vegetables such as like green beans. I did actually do okay with like very boiled broccoli, not raw vegetables. Don't even try it, trust me, those first couple months. As far as like the number of bathroom trips, usually you hear about people going to the bathroom all the time and having a lot of urgency after their first surgery. At least that's what I heard people talk about. However, that didn't happen with me. I never really had a whole lot of urgency. In fact, I never even felt when I actually had to go. I just kind of went when I had to go pee. Oh, and that's another thing. After surgery, it might be that you might have trouble urinating, just because all that stuff is like connected. I'm not really sure why it affects your being able to urinate, but a lot of people have trouble urinating. But don't worry, it gets better, especially if you are able to empty the pouch. It's a lot easier to pee after that. So, but anyway, the number of bathroom trips varied, probably from honestly 2 to 10, just depending on the day. I actually struggled with constipation even, and I had to buy Miralax for the first time in my life. So just remember that everyone's different, and you might be having, up to 15 bathroom trips in a day at first, but the best that it gets to is an average of about 4 to 6 a day, just as like the end goal when everything is settled down after J-pouch surgery. So otherwise, the only other thing I struggled with in the first couple months was gas urgency. So when you have a colon, you have a place to kind of hold all of your gas buildup, and then most people can let out gas just fine without worrying that anything's going to be coming out with it. However, with the J-pouch, you cannot do that. You just don't trust a fart. don't trust it in the first couple months, okay? Or maybe just the first month. So some people can't even let out gas for even like a year before they're comfortable with it. However, I was able to actually while I was in the hospital. It was really funny because I was expecting not being able to let out gas unless I was on the toilet, and then all of a sudden I was really bloated while I was in the hospital, and it all just kind of came out when I was on my hospital bed. And Andrew, my boyfriend, was like, what was that? Like, I didn't even know that could happen. And it was honestly such a relief after having an ostomy for 6 months, I think. And whenever, you know, you just don't get that like relieved feeling. It's such like a natural human thing to do, to let out gas, and you usually feel better. And when you have an ostomy, it just kind of comes out, and you know, your stomach kind of like toots a little bit and makes those noises, and everybody laughs and whatever, but like you can't control it. And so when you're able to do that now, it's really satisfying. So yeah, you might actually be able to let out gas. So don't get too nervous about that. But like I said, in the first couple weeks, just don't completely trust it unless you're 100% sure that it is just gas. But as far as accidents go, a lot of people have accidents at night when they're sleeping. When they're like more lax, it just kind of comes out. I've never had that problem. I've never had any accidents at night. The only accident that I've had with my J pouch was when I was in the hospital on my hospital bed, and I trusted the gas too much and some came out. So otherwise accidents aren't a problem. But if you need to, I did have like adult diapers on hand just in case I did need them for those first few months, which some people do. So don't be afraid to just go get one before your surgery, just in case. So another thing I will say is absolutely 100% install a bidet before you get your surgery, okay? It was a lifesaver for butt burn, which is, you know, when you have an ostomy, the stool is very acidic, so it burns your skin. Well, now it's not coming out and burning your skin, it's going to be coming out the other end, out of your butt and burning that area. And so you want to have a bidet to clean off the acidic stool and calmoseptine in case it is giving you problems. However, you might not even need a whole lot of calmoseptine. I use it maybe a couple of times a week in case I eat something really acidic and it's causing problems. But otherwise, the bidet is perfect. It cleans everything up, and I haven't really struggled a whole lot with butt burn from the get-go. Third and final thing that we're going to be talking about is, what is life like now? So as far as bathroom trips, I would say I average maybe about 5 a day. It's not like, it's not something that I actually count. I did a couple days just so I knew about what my average was for this video. But it honestly, like, I just go as many times as I go pee. Like, when I go to the bathroom, I'm going pee and I'm emptying the pouch at the same time. So it's really not a big deal. It doesn't interfere with my life. And then I do go once at night. So that's always been the case. Even right out of surgery, I just kind of went once a night. There might have been a couple nights where I went twice, but I think most nights I went 0 to 1 times. Like, so some nights you might not even need to get up. I do still have gas urges where the gas kind of like builds up in your stomach, pushes through your GI system and you kind of feel a little bit of an urge, I am able to let it out when I need to most times, but if I'm unsure, I might have to go sit on the toilet for sometimes 5-10 minutes until the urge just like comes out, or I'll like walk around the house for a little bit, and then when I feel the urge, I'll just kind of stand close by to the bathroom, and then when I do have the urge, it's able to just come out, because the gas doesn't seem to stay in the J pouch. It kind of almost like travels back up, so you're not able to just let it out whenever you go to the bathroom if you do wait until the urge passes. Does that make sense? Sorry if I didn't explain that very well. So yeah, guys, I honestly feel like a really normal person again. After getting diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, I honestly didn't know if I was ever gonna feel like a normal person again without a chronic disease. And although I obviously am not normal anymore, I very much feel like a normal person in my day-to-day life, and I just don't have a colon, and I go a little bit more to the bathroom than most people. Honestly, I mean, I don't miss my ostomy so far. The J pouch is totally worth it, and if you guys have any questions for me whatsoever, please just leave a comment down below and I will try to reply to all of them that I can. I want to help you guys and support you guys, whether you already have the J pouch, or if you have it scheduled, or if you're thinking about getting the J pouch. Let's all just like be each other's support system and talk about all of our concerns and our experiences, and I would love to hear your guys' experiences as well and how it compares to mine. Okay guys, so that's all I have. I am going to be posting once a week about all things J pouch, ulcerative colitis, ostomy. I am a dietitian, so I can talk about what to eat in a day and what you might want to avoid. Any other advice that I have with an ostomy or a J pouch, hit like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye!